Hello, everybody. It's Friday, and here I am, ready to talk to you, as promised, to give you an update of the week. And this is a very happening week, so I have lots to cover. So, I did a recording for IoTSlam conference just this morning, and my topic is the business of value creation from data science to AI innovations. It's loaded, isn't it? So I've always been talking about value creation from data, and you've seen me talk about how you can learn data science using no-code AI, and it's all about innovation. That's what my students do. But the beauty of this topic is IoTSlam is one conference where I've spoken repeatedly, and this is one of those, I think, 14th or 15th round, 15th time I'm speaking in the conference, and it's amazing. And doing it live online, what I did is I did the recording, and you will be able to watch it as a on-demand play, because they're doing a hybrid, one of the first conferences that is decided to do a little on-site and little online, so all of us can watch it. That's going to be on the 24th, this Thursday. So go to IoTSlam and you can sign up and you should be able to watch it. What I wanted to tell you, the reason I'm saying that as part of my update for the week is I covered 3 different trends. As I started thinking about this to get ready for the conference, the topic on top of my mind was who is going to win and who is going to lose in the post-COVID economy. And as a big technology futurist, 3 big trends came to mind. One is there is a growing rift between tech and businesses in terms of the people who work on technology as data scientists or machine learning engineers on one end of the spectrum, and businesses who are saying how can we actually create growth, go to new markets, solve business problems, create value for business using AI. And AI is pervasive and is everywhere. So what I'm seeing is this growing rift is calling for human in the loop. And the second trend is there is no code AI, and a new concept of what is called as citizen data scientist that is evolving. The third piece is AI ethics is permeating, and I've been talking about it like last few months, I should say, as I shared the AI ethics jobs landscape with you. But what is fascinating is it is redefining not just jobs, because they're not called AI ethicist or AI ethics jobs. Very rarely they are called AI ethicists. I'll tell you about that in a minute because we had a chat with the real AI ethicists. But there is a whole movement to redefine work as we know it. So we are going back to the new normal for work, and work is going to change. And we have changed a little bit, being in the lockdown, as we are getting ready to get little bit more empathetic, to become little bit more aware of what we are doing, why we are doing, what is the purpose of things. So it's all coming together beautifully. So what does it mean for you when you're looking at what is available on YouTube? I did a session talk called it's an AI podcast. It's a conference led by IoT Council, looking at what happened on IoT Day, what are all the different sessions that happened around the clock. And I got to speak. My student Aishatu Godap, AP's technology, she got to speak. And we also had Tejumade Afuja, who runs AI Saturdays, Lagos, who's a master's student and data scientist in Germany. She also spoke. So I focused on no-code AI, which was done as one of the sessions, and also showed 28 women who did women's planning for IoT Day. So this IoT Day women's planning multiple videos recording are all here, right here in the channel. So if you just scroll and you'll see a whole tab and you'll see multiple sessions of this coming up. So enjoy those. And if you go to Medium and follow Business School of AI, Richard Myers is actually doing a blog post once per week. In fact, he's doing a video of that. He's doing a blog as an email and sharing it with people as an analysis of one session at a time, if you want to follow that too. So That is one thing. Right here in the channel, you can find all the different women's planning videos, including the no code AI from my student Christine and the amazing women I already mentioned here. So on 24th, I hope you'll attend the IoTSlam. The other exciting thing that happened this week is we already started the Career Pivot to AI Ethics course, and Susanna Raj and I have been teaching this new cohort of students, and our students are professional adults. I keep saying you students, they are amazing, experienced professionals who love innovation and want to go change the world. So this group already started out with the first class with us last week, and this class, the classes are on Thursday morning. This class, they actually learned about data bias and bias mitigation, and had a master class with Ankita Joshi, who's a autonomous vehicle safety engineer from General Motors. And so what we did for on weekly Wednesday is Susanna Raj was gracious enough to come and give us a sneak peek of this topic for students who are not going to be in the class. Maybe they didn't sign up, maybe they couldn't make it, but they wanted to get a sneak peek of what is data bias, what is all this talk about AI ethics. All AI is about data, because AI is trained using data, right? The models are built using data, which is images, sounds, everything. And there's bias at 5 stages that creeps in. So Susanna did that, specifically focused on collection, was her weekly Wednesday session. And then we got a special treat from Diya Wynn, who is an AI ethicist at Amazon AWS, who came in for the second half and did a live open Q&A with our students about what is AI ethics. She built on Susanna's work on data bias, and she said, okay, so how do you actually find bias? How do you mitigate bias? How do you identify what bias you're going to focus on? And even if you find that an AI is biased and the data that was feeding it to build it was biased to a certain population, how do you have that conversation with your stakeholders? How do you set it up for governance inside the company? So she had this live conversation with us. So as we are getting ready for Juneteenth tomorrow, right here in this channel, we have set up Diya Wynn's conversation and Susanna's conversation about data bias as a treat for you to watch right here. And it's going to be a premiere that will go live tomorrow morning on the 19th, right here, 6 a.m. I want to set it for East Coast time so we can get wide coverage all over US time as we celebrate Juneteenth. So make sure that you follow the women's planning videos here. Make sure you go and sign up, and it will actually, if you're on my YouTube, if you're already subscribed, you have clicked on the bell, it'll send notification. Or you don't need to subscribe, just get set to be notified just for this Diya Wynn's video as it goes live for Juneteenth, and you can watch that. And we are very excited on 24th, the same day as IoTSlam, we have Diya Wynn coming in to do a special master class for our career pivot class. So some people said we could not sign up for the entire career pivot to AI ethics. It's too many weeks and too many sessions. And working professionals found that it was too much time for them. So we broke that into individual modules and we've set it up. So if you just want to come and attend Diya Wynn's module after seeing her video, it will give you a sense of how amazing she is and what is the reality of bringing AI ethics inside company. What does the reality of the job look like? Then you can choose to sign up for Diya Wynn's class. And right here on LinkedIn, I also have an event link for that. Otherwise, go to businessschoolofai.com and you will see a slick orange button you can click, and there's a special offer only till Monday for you to sign up for her module for $199. So that is too exciting. There are two exciting things for me. And what I'm going to do is, after sitting through Susanna's session, having worked on this with her and spoken to my students about bias mitigation, one of the things we did is we said, we can't keep talking because these are brilliant students. We need to give them a real exercise so that they can go apply this. So we've been giving homework. who said that our classes don't have homework? Of course they have homework. So we have a homework which is the students did this last time about it's called the mall mask project. It's quite a tongue twister for me. So it's a AI for a mall where there's a facial recognition system that is checking whether people are wearing a mask. That's what I'm doing, like pretending to wear a mask because I'm sitting indoors and I don't need to wear a mask now. But is there bias in the data? Is it looking for people wearing glasses? What about people who have a headscarf? Maybe people who have beards? Is it actually, having enough data representative of people? And will it let everybody in if they're really wearing a mask? And, that kind of thing. So that's a homework exercise we did. And now this week's homework is to look at a facial recognition system that has recently been in the news from a company called Tigasus. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. It's called Taiguss. And if it's a different pronunciation, if somebody's watching this, please tell me. It's a Chinese company, and they've created a emotion recognition system. So essentially, it is tracking workers in the office to see whether they are happy by tracking their smile. I want to pause for a minute. That sounds so creepy, right? But this company has so many customers. And so the discussion is, this is an article in Insider. What does this mean? And all of these AI ethics conversations are always presented as, oh my God, this is so bad and it violates privacy. This system was built and went into production, and the AI life cycle is created by many people in the jobs, in the various jobs in the companies, and then it's launched and it's live. So it's not that we don't have recognition systems which track emotions of people. They exist already in the workplace. Whether they're tracking and what does that mean is what this has brought that to the forefront, the discussion, especially when we are getting ready to go back into work or go back into IoTSlam conference or something in person. So if you're watching this, I would love to see whether you have a question or comment, because I see somebody here. So my question for the class is, how do you think of all the different bias that Susanna Raj taught us, and figure out what would be the mitigation for it? And we will share some pictures and have a discussion. So for on weekly Wednesday, what I'm going to do is, instead of having our usual speaker series, since we had Diya speaking last week and we have Diya coming in as a class session for our masterclass on Thursday, we are going to have this open lab session. So I want to try this. So I like to put this out and ask you, is this something that you would like to do? Reply back to me, talk to me. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Business School of AI. And I just want to see, I would like to do a live lab exercise, because it's one thing talking about AI ethics at some 1,000-foot view. It's one thing saying, okay, it's this kind of bias and this is the mitigation techniques. I understand that and take it as theory. But what is the reality of actually building an AI, collecting data, labeling data, building a model using no-code AI, and putting it through a cycle to send it to a customer? And then what? Suppose a vendor shows up and says, I have this emotion tracking system ready, go buy it from me. And all AI and every technology is always presented with a useful use case. So maybe they'll give a useful use case why tracking somebody's emotion is a good thing. And now, if you are in the company and you're looking at this and a pilot is going to happen, what is your role? What questions can you ask? Instead of getting preachy and say, oh my God, it's biased, there's a right way to have the conversation, the right way to drive change. What would that look like? So I would like to go do this as a lab exercise. And I have this access in this platform called Playment, which does labeling for computer vision. So if anybody wants to work with me on that, jump in. So we're going to look at this on weekly Wednesday. And then hopefully I'll see you at IoTSlam on Thursday, or maybe you're interested in Wynn's masterclass on AI ethics. It's just 2 hours on June 24th. So maybe you'll sign up for that. Otherwise, I'll see you at weekly Wednesday. And don't miss Wynn's talk and Susanna's data bias talk from Weekly Wednesday. That's going to premiere right here at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Okay. With that, I will see you all next week. Stay safe and happy Juneteenth. Bye, everybody.